Hey, what's going on? Sean Mormello here. Good to see you again. Another driving video. I was just watching a video by Rick Beato, who does awesome work, by the way. Highly suggest you subscribe to his channel. But he was talking about how we are in the era of low information music, and he dissected a lot of the modern hits and how they are just so simple that you don't even need ear training to be able to figure out the chords. They're 3 or 4 chords, if that. Some of them don't even resolve to the 5. It's just crazy. And he was using examples of some of the older music, like the Beatles, of course, Pink Floyd, Police, Steely Dan, Sergio Mendes, even Nirvana, and stuff from the 90s, and how much more richly layered and complicated and just more musical it is, because it's not just a few chords with very limited, simple melodic lines over it. And I agree with Rick 100%. We are in the era of the low information music. I have a Journey tribute band, which is very high information stuff. A lot of it very complex. Not so much the hits. A few of them are, though. Compared to what's out, compared to Justin Bieber and Cardi B, it might as well be Miles Davis. But I came up listening to all that stuff, and Joni Mitchell and the Beatles and Journey 6 Kansas, yes, Genesis, and Steely Dan and Styx and whatever else. Toto. This stuff is much more complicated. It's much more intellectual, and it's richer music. It will enrich your soul so much more completely than the low information music that is out today. Or I'm sure that there's quite a bit of high information music being made. And in fact, I know there is. But none of it is being played on the radio, and none of it is the current hits out there. So yeah, I think this trend in music is just indicative of this trend in our society. And I don't want to make this a political thing, but we're a fallen culture at this point. Music's downfall, and I think that was by design, by the way, but music's downfall, I call it the hip-hopification of pop music. When hip-hop started out as a really cool thing in its own art form in itself, I don't consider it music in the same traditional sense that the Beatles were music. It's a street poetry art form, I thought, when they were using some beats, maybe, and then they were sampling some other melodic bits from other artists and other sources. And it was a black thing, but it transcended our culture, and it made its way into popular music. The cadence of the lyrics, the very extremely limited melody lines, the hip-hoppy type beats, the vocal effects, the overabundance of hard tuning. I could go on and on and on, but those elements slowly, over about 20 years, wormed their way into popular music, and in turn dumbed our popular music down. So culturally, of course, culturally we've been dumbed down in our schools, Common Core, they're graduating kids who can't read, write. I just think we're probably a fallen culture. From the average education of the average person now, compared to the average education of the average person in the 80s when I went to school, or the 60s when my parents went to school, there's no comparison. So it would stand to reason that music and other art forms as well would also devolve. So it's no surprise to me that music has devolved. I've never even heard this stuff. I've never heard a Justin Bieber song other than Rick Beato playing this, going through the Spotify, top playlists. I would never listen to a Cardi B. I lived in Nashville and I was writing songs there on the row, trying to get cuts and things like that. And the hip hop elements were working their way in, starting in about 2010. I don't know, maybe they had Nelly, they had somebody in there up on the Country Music Awards rapping along to some country song. I mean, yes, there was Cowboy Troy with Big and Rich in the early 2000s. So it's been like 20 years. And that music is no different, really, other than they still have some live instruments on the records, mostly live instruments. They have a lot of sample stuff. They have a lot of hip-hop drum machine stuff there now on country radio. So that's what I'm blaming it on. And I'll die on that hill. The urbanization, hip-hopization, those are my terms for it, of popular music has dumbed it all down. So if you want to listen to some good music, you need to go back and listen to Steely Dan, the Beatles, some of the Eagles. Definitely the prog rock stuff, like Toto, believe it or not, is a prog rock band, other than some of their hits. Pull up a Toto playlist on Spotify. Definitely listen to their live stuff. Kansas, Styx, Genesis, oh my God, yes. Journey. Go listen to Journey. Go listen to Captured Live, Journey, 1980. Might have been 81. Amazing stuff. They're writing their ass off. They're playing their ass off. It's just, you can't even compare it to the crap that's I guess the hits nowadays. I don't know if it's on the radio. I don't listen to it. I'll never listen to it. So I agree with Rick Beato. We are in the age of low information music, but we are in the age of low information people. So my advice to you is, don't be a low information person. All right? So I hope you got some value of this. My name's Sean Mormello, SeanMormello.com, and we'll see you on the next one. All right? Bye.